So, yes, this episode is going to be why I decided against going to law school. So welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are just joining or you're just watching a video of me, you've never seen my YouTube video. This is my second video actually, so there's really not much to see. In my first video, I did a little get to know me tag, and I answered a lot of funny questions there. So if you're interested in getting to know me, you can watch that video. And from there, one of the questions a lot of people asked me, like people who knew me personally, one of the questions they asked me was why I decided against going to law school. So I said, you know what, let me just do a video on it. So second thing before I go, yes, I finished my background. As you can see, I did the background myself. Yes, and I'm very proud of it and I really love it. Hello, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Keyu Ubi, and here I talk about everything I love. Okay, so let me give you a little like lowdown of my, maybe is the word, my growing up. I'm not that old anyways. So I when I was very little, I used to love the idea of being a lawyer. I loved it. Oh my god. I think I was like 5 the first time someone asked me what did I want to do when I was growing up. And then when you're growing up, especially in somewhere like Nigeria, if you talk a lot, as a parrot when I was little, I talked a lot. Oh god, I used to like I talk a lot. That's the summary. And so they asked me what I want to be, and then if you heard people say, "Oh, you should be a lawyer. You talk a lot, and you talk really well. You should be a lawyer." So I just said, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a lawyer." So when people started asking, "What do you want to be?" "Yeah, I'm going to be a lawyer." I'm like, "Oh my god, your kids is so smart!" And my parents were so proud. "Oh, a smart kid who is going to be a lawyer." So and I stuck with it. When I got into school, the experience was different. It was different than I expected. I didn't even know what I was expecting, but it was different. Okay, so in 100 level, there's this thing they do where they make you do all the courses for art. So you do like English, literature, some other courses like that, and then maybe just only one law course, and then they give you like this pink Bible and everybody's. And then the first class I attended, I was like, is this what law is all about? Is this what I'm going to be doing here? Oh my God, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what I was expecting. I think I was expecting people to be arguing, bringing like really great points and that and that. I didn't expect to sit down again and hear just one man standing in front, blabbing and just talking about recent cases that were in 1809 or something. I was not expecting that. Like I said, I don't know what I was expecting, but that was and I was so disappointed. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to attend all these classes again. Yes, so most of the time I did not really attend classes. I decided against not going to class because I just didn't see how what they were teaching us was really related to what was going on in reality or in practicality. Because at least I attended a few court sessions before then, and the ones I attended seemed a bit interesting. Even though there's still local cases where they talked about land cases and they fought about land funny cases, especially when you go to like the lower courts. But what we're being taught in school was totally different. So I was just about to give up on it. Then I got into an association in my school, the tax club, and that's like it brought out my vibe again for law. So I realized, okay, that what I really liked in law was the corporate aspect of it, like especially tax and all that. So I decided to face that actually, and I was really into it, even though I was not really active in the club until like my let me say close to my penultimate year, my final year, I think my 400 level and 500 level. I think that was when I was like sort of active, sort of, yes, more active in the club. So because before then I was doing a lot of things, lot of things, and I had a business. I was running like two businesses at the same time. I know, crazy shit. I think maybe I'll talk about it one time, running a business in school and what it feels like and what I learned. I think I'll do that because there are a lot of things I learned from running a business as a student. And I ran a business successfully and I still finished with my second class upper. So you can run a business and still do very well in school, although depending on the course you are studying actually. Let me be sincere. So towards my final year, like I said, I found passion in the tax club, and so I was like, okay, you know what, I'm going to practice the corporate law. But when my final exams came, I began to reevaluate my life because by then I realized that there are other interests I had. I got into like tech, like in theoretical aspects, like reading up about it, and I really really loved what I was reading, especially artificial intelligence. It was, I found it intriguing. Before that, I've always been very interested in tech. As a child, I used to break up the things in our house and screw them back together and try the way to find out what is working in it and what is not working and all that. So I've always been interested in doing stuff like that. But this time around, I found the joys of pressing computer. And so I was like, oh, how did this work? Excel, Microsoft, blah blah blah. And so it became like very interesting to me. So I said, okay, that let me just try how this works. I started like watching a few videos, trying to learn a few things. By the time I was done with my final exams, I didn't know what to do with my life, because I was like, okay, there's law school, there's the business that I had that I really loved, but it wasn't doing as well as I expected. But I felt like if I gave my attention to it after school, it would grow and it would do better. So I was stuck, and so I spoke to someone about it, and the person was like, why do you have to choose like one? Like, why do you have to choose like one? I think until one becomes much more overwhelming than the other, in such a path that you cannot do one without the other, that's when you have to choose. But if not, why do you have to choose? So I thought about it, that it's true that nobody is forcing me to choose anything right now. So, and then after school, almost immediately I got a job and I worked somewhere. While I was working there, I realized one thing, that 9 to 5 is not for me. Oh God, or 8 to 4 or something. It's not exactly for me. It's not my thing. It frustrates the life out of me. There's some people that thrive on it. They do so well with it, but not me. Mm-mm. While I was preparing for law school, I had to. I said, okay, let me work. Let me work so I can make some money to help out my parents. My parents are not so rich. Let me just tell you that now. We are all, like, Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. I don't know, it's not that bad, but Nigeria is very poor, and so we are. Don't let anybody deceive you that Nigeria is not poor. Nigeria is poor, but we are all survivors. Like, work so that I could, like, whatever money I could get, add to what my parents had, and then during that time I had to do a lot of thinking and a lot of self-discovery. And I think that that's what our 20s are for. I'm in my 20s. So, like, it's for you to discover yourself. It's for you to make good mistakes. I'll call it good mistakes, because mistakes is what you make of it. Is either you make it into a bad thing, or you learn a lesson from it, and it helps you in character building and making making a better self, or making yourself useful to the society. So I decided that, you know what, I wasn't going to go to law school, because I looked at the statistics. I was like, there are like, law school, like Nigerian law school actually churns out about like 4,000 lawyers every year. If you take about like 10 years of law, that's about 40,000 lawyers every year. How many cases do we have in Nigeria, for crying out loud? How many people get into that much trouble that they need lawyers? Like, we don't even, in fact, people don't even like to get, you hear people say something like this. I don't speak Yoruba very well, but if you understand Yoruba, you hear them say, Nirogun lawyer. Oh. And I'm like, in fact, they've seen lawyers, and having a lawyer, like when you call a lawyer into your case, like a bad thing. And that's not necessarily, for those who are not law, it's not a bad thing actually. Knowing the law, having someone who knows the law on your side can help you avert like certain problems that you shouldn't be having in the first place. So, like, I thought about it, that there's so many lawyers, not many law firms, and that's why you see some examples. Someone who went to law school, paid that outrageous amount of money to go to law school, and then they come out of law school and they want to pay the lawyers peanuts to work like for very odd and really strenuous hours. There are very few law firms, like top tier law firms, that pay people really, really well, and especially in somewhere like Nigeria, because I cannot blame those law firms, because I don't even think they are making as much for them to even be paid like a, let me say, a young lawyer like 100K per month. So I can't really exactly blame them. It's a bit complicated, and it's a bit like a really complicated situation anyway. So I'm not in the position to say anything about that. So when I thought about all this, I was like, you know what, I did not come to this life to suffer. I don't think I can do this. After going through 1 year of law school, with the way people had talked about it, that it's really strenuous, it will tell on your mental health, it will do this, it will do that. And to be honest, I was really scared. Like I was really scared because I'm not someone who does well with pressure. That's why I said I can't work in a 9 to 5. Not really anyways. I'm not someone who does really well with pressure. So I can manage it, I can survive in it, but I don't exactly like it. So people do well with it, they thrive on it. That's one of the things where you have to know yourself. So I just realized, I just know I can't do well with this. So I just said, you know what, I wasn't going. And I think that I made the decision out of maybe fear or logic, or I don't know, but I just decided that I wasn't going because of these main reasons. One is not, I don't even see myself practicing law, especially with the way Nigeria was. That was one of the reasons I said, you know what, I don't see myself practicing law, I don't see myself going to court. I can't imagine myself wearing wig and gown and being hauled in this hot sun in Nigeria. And so I was like, no, no court for me, no law for me. Then so what's the point of me going to law school if I'm not going to practice law? And I already like had an interest in tech and business and entrepreneurship. So I was like, you know what, let me just delve into this. Like, this is what I truly love, this is what I'm truly passionate about anyways, especially business. So let me just do that. Let me just, you know, divert, pivot, just go into that. And so I just gave up on the idea of law school together, altogether. And then so I thought about it that there are so many lawyers, and if I went to law school, I would just join the train. I would just be part of the train. I would just be part of it, and my life would not really matter. And I did not want that. That's just the truth. I did not want to not just matter. So I think that's my greatest fear, to not matter, to be forgotten. I don't know how to explain it, but that's the best way I can put it. During this period was when I joined DigiLaw. At DigiLaw as a co-founder slash head of operations, because the main founder was going to law school. Interesting, right? So DigiLaw is like a legal ed tech startup where we churn out like content, we organize online classes that have to do with that, like to bridge the gap between law and technology. That's essentially what we do at DigiLaw. If you are interested, you can check out our website www.digilaw.com.ng. So, and I really loved working with DigiLaw. I think I came to DigiLaw like very early, late last year, stroke early this year. So that time we've like done a lot of things, like we are working on projects and crazy things like that, and it has been really fun and interesting for me, because even though it's not something that I'm earning from yet, the thought of like doing something that is actually vital, that is helping people, keeps me going. Do you understand that people can like come to our platform and learn about topics that they've never really paid attention to learn about? We write about stuff in cyber security and law, write about legal tech, write about artificial intelligence, machine learning. I know, running a team of writers, very wonderful team. So later this year, when the corona thing happened and everywhere went to shit and everything went crazy, and law school students had to go back home, and then a lot of them were not sure what was going on. Were they going on externship? Were they going to come back to write exams? Were they going to, and they decided like online classes were not really like online classes with a proper learning management system or platform. I felt really bad for them, as much as it's such in my heart, to be honest. I was like, I felt like I dodged a bullet, because I can't deal with that kind of uncertainty. I feel like my friends, people I know in law school right now, they are really strong, because me, that kind of uncertainty can drive me crazy, where I don't even know whether I'm here or there, what is going to happen. I can't exactly plan or something. It can be a bit frustrating. Eventually, me and my friends came up with something called the Fit and Proper podcast. So what we do there is that we take like what people are studying in law school, we bring law students and then lawyers to the platform, and then they discuss the topic. So in essence, so for people who are better learners, who are auditory learners, like they learn better through listening, we thought that okay, this would help them. Instead of just the online notes that they are giving and the assignments, they can learn using that system. And so we've had like, I don't know, for now I'm sure like 400 play, because I'm not the producer, I'm the director. I write the scripts and I'm the host of the podcast, while my partner slash friend. Akin does the producing and some other things like that. So it's, for me, it feels fulfilling that, okay, I feel like, okay, this is one of the reasons why I gave up law school. Because if I was probably in law school like the others, I can't do stuff like this. I can't be helpful to other people who truly need the help. Plan now. My plan is actually to become a legal technologist. That's why I'm working towards becoming a software developer, so I can create tech that helps the legal industry in a sense. That's just the summary of what I want to do. But then I've come to, like, with everything that has happened so far, and with everything that I've learned, I've come to realize that you cannot effect a change in a society if you are not part of the society. So I know I said why I gave up on law school, but right now I'm actually thinking of going to law school because I think it's a really great idea. If I ever really want to, like, make a change, or if I ever really want to, like, help the legal industry to become better, mm, optimize it, and you know everything, I have to be part of the community, or else nobody will take you seriously, or you will not be respected. Not really, anyways, no matter how far you go, because you are not part of them. You're not exactly part of them, so they can't take you seriously. Not like that anyway. To take like a little bit of leverage here and there for you to do something in legal society. So that's why I decided, or I'm thinking about going to law school. I don't know when yet, but I will go. I'm making plans towards it. And also, so my mother can finally get her wish that, my daughter is a lawyer. That's a joke, actually. But yes, that's essentially my plans right now. And I think that I would say that for people practicing law, people in law school presently, or for someone who is in school studying law, I think that what you should do is that law isn't everything, to be honest, because the market isn't nice. It isn't fair, it isn't nice. You're not going to come out and get a really great job that pays you well. Or else you find something that makes you unique. So, and that's where I was listening to, I think, a podcast or reading a book. I can't really remember. I do a lot of those things. So, but I remember who I was. I think it was Naval, maybe on Twitter. If you are a Twitter person, I like Twitter a lot. Oh God, I like Twitter. So if you're a Twitter person, you probably have, like, heard of Naval. So, and then he was saying something where, if you want to increase your earning, or if you want to increase your leverage, your potential as a career person, you need to compound your skill. In essence, you need to have something that makes you unique, apart from just having one thing. So, for example, let's say you're a lawyer. One thing that will make you unique as a lawyer is, for example, you are a software developer. So you become a legal technologist. You are useful in the tech field. You're also useful in the legal field. So put it together, it puts you at a higher level of just somebody who is just a software developer, or somebody who is just a lawyer. So that gives you an edge. For example, if you're a sports person, I have a friend who plays basketball. He loves to play basketball a lot, and he's presently in the law school. So he plays basketball. So he's a sports person, but he's also a lawyer. So, and he's working towards becoming a sports lawyer. So that gives him another edge. He's a sports lawyer. For example, recently someone wrote about the karma and, like, gave his own review and opinion and everything, and tore it down and made it look like it was rubbish, the new karma and everything. I felt like if we had something called, like, legal journalism, people that are actually, like, we know them that these are legal journalists, where you have, like, you have your skills, like a skilled journalist and a skilled lawyer. It gives you another edge. So you're not just a lawyer, you're a journalist at the same time. So it gives you another edge. Where, for example, if you wanted to write something like a review on the karma, you know how to weave words well. At the same time, you know how to, you know the law, you know what the law says, and you can interpret it properly. So there are a lot of things that you can compound. For example, I know someone who is a social media guru. She's good with social media management, and also she's a lawyer, so it gives her an edge. So, for example, these days, everybody is going tech, everybody's going online, everybody's using social media, lawyer or not. So I'm sure law firms are looking for people who can manage their social media. It gives you an edge if you're a lawyer, because you understand their angle, you understand their pain, and at the same time, you understand social media, you know how it works, and you know how to get traffic and everything. So I feel like that is where people should be right now, where you are not just a lawyer, because that doesn't make you stand out. That doesn't give you an edge. You're nothing that makes you different from the next person if you are just a lawyer. So I think that that's what people should be doing now. For example, people who are into fashion. I know a friend who does illustration. I know some who actually make like really nice clothes, but who are lawyers also. And then there's something called fashion law. Yes, there is. So I feel like, for especially for people who are still like, who have not like really gone far, young lawyers especially, this is the time, especially when you're in your 20s, this is the time to like make good mistakes and do stuff with it. So yes, where I am now, I am, like I said, I'm still learning the ropes when it comes to technology. I'm working towards becoming a software developer. At least in the next 1 year, that's what I'm spending my next 1 year doing, trying to build up myself to become a software developer. And then from then on, I will probably go to law school after and become a lawyer too. So that gives me an edge, especially with earning power and everything. So yes, now you know why I decided against going to law school. I hope I haven't bored you again, because sometimes I feel like I just go on and on talking anyways. But I hope that listening to or watching me has like giving you some ideas about what you can do with your life, and you shouldn't be afraid to make choices. That's the thing. You shouldn't be afraid to make like really crazy choices. Of course, you have to take into account your circumstances. You have to take into account some certain things, parents, finances, stuff like that. But you should make the good mistake. You should be bold enough to like take, let me use the word, bold moves that may eventually pay off. Thank you for watching me, and of course I look forward to my next YouTube video. I hope that you've enjoyed today's